See students, in a period we know that from left hand side to right hand side atomic size is what say should decrease, but here from scandium to zinc if you observe atomic size is not regularly changing, sometimes it is decreasing, again then it is increasing. The reason behind this, you see from one element to next element atomic number increases by 1 unit, as a result nuclear charge increases, nuclear attraction power is increasing. At the same time from one element to next element number of d electrons also increases, and here what is happening, nucleus is there. If you consider first, second, third and fourth shell, in fourth shell we have 4s, in third shell we have 3d, and d block elements definition what we discussed, the elements in which differentiating electron enters into d orbital of penultimate shell. Means what is happening here, from one element to next element number of electrons in third shell are increasing. When number of inner shell electrons increases, shielding effect also increases. Shielding effect also increases. So here students, from one element to next element two factors are increasing. Nuclear charge is increasing, shielding effect also increasing. Why shielding effect are increasing? Because differentiating electron not entered into valency shell, entered into penultimate shell. And you know one thing, if nuclear charge increases, size should decrease. If shielding effect increases, size should increase. And here if you compare these two factors, as nuclear charge increases, size of the atom should decrease, as shielding effect is increasing, size of the atom should increase, and these two factors are working in a opposite direction. And here scandium to titanium size is decreased, means nuclear attraction is dominating, and titanium to vanadium also size is decreasing, means nuclear charge is dominating, whereas chromium to manganese actually size should decrease, but here size is what say increased. Size is increased means here shielding effect is dominating. I repeat once again, scandium to zinc two factors are working, they are working in opposite direction. What they are? Nuclear charge and shielding effect. If nuclear charge is increased, size should decrease. If shielding effect is increased, size should increase. And here if nuclear charge is dominating, size is decreasing. If shielding effect is increasing, size should increase. Because of these two factors only, atomic size is not regularly changing, it is changing irregularly. And if you see from nickel to copper, copper to zinc, size is gradually increasing, because in copper you have 4s1 3d10, in zinc you have 4s2 3d10, fully filled. Here S is fully filled, D also fully filled, and due to repulsions among electrons, size is expanded, size is increased. This is about atomic size, students. And just now we finished that how horizontally atomic size is changing in D block elements. Let us see in D block elements how vertically atomic size is changing. Means from 3D series to 4D series size is increasing, but 4D to 5D series size remains same. Because of that reason only in 4th B group zirconium and hafnium both are having similar size. At the same time vanadium to niobium size is increased, but from niobium to tantalum size remains almost same. And here students we can see 3D to 4D series size is increased, but 4D to 5D series size remains same, and this is due to lanthanide contraction. This is due to lanthanide contraction. Because of lanthanide contraction, zirconium, hafnium both are having similar atomic size, at the same time similar properties, and niobium, tantalum also because of lanthanide contraction they have similar atomic size, at the same time similar properties they have. Right. Our next property is ionization energies, comparing ionization energy, students. And we know again I have selected 3D series elements. 3D series elements starts from scandium up to zinc. If you see all they belongs to same period, and here in a period from left hand side to right hand side, as size is decreasing, ionization energy should increase, because ionization energy and atomic size both are inversely proportional. From left hand side to right hand side, as size is decreasing, ionization energy should increase. But here if you see increased, decreased, increased, 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 decreased, decreased, increased, increased, Means you cannot find a regular trend in ionization energy of d block elements in a series. Why this is? From scandium to zinc, see, from left hand side to right hand side, as atomic number increases by 1 unit, nuclear attraction is increasing, at the same time shielding effect also increases. But we know that ionization energy and nuclear attraction both are directly proportional, whereas ionization energy and shielding effect both are inversely proportional. See here, from left hand side to right hand side, as nuclear attraction increases, ionization enthalpy should increase. From left hand side to right hand side, as shielding effect is increasing, ionization enthalpy should decrease. Means nuclear attraction and shielding effect both are working in opposite direction. Because of that reason only, there is a no regular trend in ionization energies from scandium to zinc, I mean horizontally. If you see, scandium to titanium, ionization enthalpy increased, and here ionization enthalpy increased means nuclear attraction power is increasing. But whereas from titanium to vanadium, ionization enthalpy is what say decreasing. Ionization enthalpy decreases. Reason is what say shielding effect is increasing. Because from left hand side to right hand side, nuclear attraction is increasing, shielding effect also increasing. Both are working in opposite direction. Because of that reason only, there is a no regular trend in the ionization enthalpy of these 3D series elements. Right? Now, if you discuss comparison of ionization energies of chromium and manganese, we know that chromium atomic number is 24, manganese is what say 25. For chromium configuration is 4s1 3d5, for manganese it is 4s2 3d5. For convenience I can write this as 3d5 4s1 3d5 4s2. Why? Because fourth shell outside, third shell inner side. And here what do we mean by IE1? First ionization energy means to remove the first outermost electron, and here also IE1. See, this is IE1 of chromium, this is IE1 of what say manganese, and here IE1 of manganese will be more than chromium. Reason is what say in chromium outermost electron is unpaired, whereas in manganese it is paired. You can see, right? And we know that it is easy to remove unpaired electron, whereas in manganese from paired electron it is difficult to remove. So we can write IE1 of chromium is less than IE1 of manganese. See students, after using IE1, if you remove electron, chromium is becoming chromium plus, here manganese is becoming manganese plus 1. And now for chromium plus 1 it is 3d5 configuration, for manganese plus 1 3d5 4s1. And here for chromium unipositive ion I should use IE2, for manganese unipositive ion I should use IE2 to remove the second outermost electron. And if you look at this, from chromium plus, if I want to remove electron, I should remove from 3d5, whereas d5 is exactly half filled. Exactly half filled means it is stable, whereas here in this case d5 and here 1. And here in case of manganese plus 1, it is easy to remove 4s1 electron, whereas in chromium plus 1 it is difficult because exactly half filled, more stable. So IE2 of chromium plus 1 is more stable than IE2 of manganese plus 1. Means IE2 of chromium plus 1 is greater than IE2 of manganese plus 1. Like this we can compare IE1 and IE2, right? And if you discuss ionization enthalpy vertically, see here from 3D series to 4D series, size is increasing. As atomic size increases, ionization energy decreases. But from 4D series to 5D series, size is remaining same. But here atomic number increases. Because of that reason, from 4D series to 5D series, ionization energy slightly increases, we can say students. From 3D series to 4D series, as size is increasing, ionization energy is decreases. From 4D series to 5D series, size is remaining same, but here atomic number increases in multiples. Because of that reason, ionization energy slightly increases, we can say, right? If you focus on oxidation states, see, the common oxidation state for D block elements is, for D block elements common oxygen state is +2. For D block elements common oxygen state is +2, but if you look at transition elements can exhibit more varieties of oxidation states. See, scandium can exhibit +3, titanium +2, +3, +4, vanadium 2, 3, 4, 5, chromium 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Manganese is exhibiting more varieties of oxygen states, that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 students. After manganese, the varieties of oxygen states exhibited by D block elements, or can say transition elements, gradually decreases students. And because of unpaired electrons only, transition elements are having the ability to exhibit varieties of oxygen states. And here we are discussing about 3D series. In 3D series, more varieties of oxidation states exhibited by manganese from +2 to +7. At the same time, in 3D series only, highest oxidation state also exhibited by what, say, manganese, that is +7. More varieties exhibited by manganese and highest oxidation state also exhibited by manganese. And here, scandium to manganese, ability to exhibit more varieties of oxidation states increases. Again, after manganese, the ability to exhibit highest oxidation state and more varieties of oxidation state gradually decreases. If you see, in 3D series, scandium can exhibit only +3 oxidation state, whereas zinc can exhibit only +2 oxidation state, right? And here, actually, the oxidation states of D block elements classified into two types, or you can say transition elements classified into two types. What they are? They are lower oxidation states and higher oxidation states. See students, D block elements are having two types of electrons. What they are? NS electrons and N-1 electrons. If only NS electrons are involved in exhibiting oxidation states, they are exhibiting lower oxidation states. But while exhibiting higher oxidation states, they utilize NS electrons and N-1 D electrons. So NS can have 1 to 2 electrons, but here higher oxidation states 1 to 2, here 1 to 10, means lower oxidation states exhibited by losing electrons only from NS orbital. They may lose 1 electron, they may lose 2 electrons, but a transition element can exhibit highest oxidation state by utilizing NS and N-1 D electrons, students. And here manganese is losing 7 electrons and exhibiting +7. If you look at that, manganese atomic number 25, valency configuration is 4s2 3d5. By losing these 2 s electrons and these 5 electrons, by losing all the 7 electrons, it is exhibiting +7. So +7 is the highest oxidation state for manganese, and it is exhibiting highest by losing 2 from S, 5 from D, right? And here, if you see 3D series, 4D series and 5D series, in 3D series, what is the specialty of manganese? In 4D series, what is the specialty of ruthenium? In 5D series, what is the specialty of osmium? If you see, in 3D series, transition element with highest oxidation state is manganese, it can exhibit +7, whereas ruthenium is exhibiting +8 and osmium can exhibit +8. In the entire periodic table, the highest oxidation state exhibited by an element is what, say, +8 oxidation state, that is exhibited by ruthenium from 4D, osmium from 5D, students. And these are the highest oxidation states. And in 3D series, if they ask, highest oxidation state exhibited by manganese, that is +7 oxidation state. And at the same time, if you look at metal carbonyls, what do you mean by metal carbonyls? Metal carbonyls are nothing but a type of complex compounds in which carbon monoxide is behaving as ligand. For example, if you see NiCO taken 4 and at the same time FeCO taken 5. And see students, these two are known as complex compounds. In these two complex compounds, what is the role of nickel and iron means? They are behaving as central metal atom, and the role of carbon monoxide is ligand. When central metal atom and ligand both are coordinated, the resulting compound is known as complex compound. and particularly if ligand is carbon monoxide, that is known as metal carbonyls, and in metal carbonyls specialty is central metal atoms are exhibiting zero oxidation states. Means transition elements exhibiting highest oxidation state is ruthenium plus 8, osmium plus 8, and transition elements can exhibit their lowest oxidation state in the form of metal carbonyls. In metal carbonyls, their oxidation state is found to be 0, right? Okay. Now, if you see particularly 6th B group elements, chromium, molybdenum and tungsten, you know, these 3 elements can exhibit +6 oxidation state. So we can say these are the highest oxidation states because the oxidation number of an element should not be more than its group number, and chromium, molybdenum, tungsten, as they belongs to 6th B, they can exhibit highest +6 oxidation state. And here if you discuss the stability order students, stability order will be chromium +6 is less than, molybdenum +6 is less than, tungsten +6. Means down the group the stability of highest oxidation state is increasing. I repeat once again, in case of D block elements, or you can say in case of transition elements, as we are coming down the group, stability of highest oxidation state is increasing. This is exactly opposite. This is exactly contrary to P block elements, because in P block elements, because of what you say this inert pair effect, down the group stability of highest oxidation state decreases in P block elements, whereas in D block elements down the group stability of highest oxidation state increases. We can say chromium +6 to molybdenum +6, molybdenum +6 to tungsten +6, stability is what say increasing, right? Now disproportionation reaction, it is a type of redox reaction in which reduction reaction and oxidation reaction both are taking place simultaneously. And if you look at this, MnO4 -2, MnO4 -2 means manganate ion, and reactant side we have manganate ion. In the form of manganate ion, manganese is exhibiting +6 oxidation state, and product side manganese we can find in the form of MnO4- and MnO2. And in MnO4-, manganese is exhibiting +7, and in the form of MnO2, it is exhibiting +4 oxidation state. And here manganese +6 is becoming +7, increase in the oxidation number, so it is oxidation reaction. Manganese +6 is becoming manganese +4, decrease in the oxidation number, so this is reduction reaction. See students, in a reaction, reactant side we have an element with a particular oxidation state, and manganese in +6 oxidation state participating in simultaneous oxidation and reduction reaction. It is increasing its oxidation number and decreasing its oxidation number, means an element from a common oxidation state changes into 2 different oxidation states by participating in a simultaneous oxidation and reduction reactions known as disproportionation reaction. Now let us start discussing standard reduction potential students, and here it is also known as SRP. SRP value, standard reduction potential. And if you look into this, here a transition metal in solid state is converted into aqueous unipositive metal ion. I repeat students once again, a solid transition metal is converted to aqueous unipositive metal ion, and this process can take place in 3 steps. What they are? Solid metal, first of all, we have to convert into gaseous metal atom. Solid metal we have to convert into gaseous metal atom, and here we have to heat this solid metal, and here we are heating, means we are supplying heat energy, means it is receiving heat energy, means it is endothermic, delta H is positive, which is known as sublimation enthalpy. Sublimation process is the one in which solid is directly converted to gas. And in the next step, this gaseous metal atom I took, from this I removed 1 electron, so that it is becoming gaseous metal ion, and here the energy required is known as ionization enthalpy, and here this is also endothermic, so it is what say positive. At the same time, this gaseous metal ion I took in the next step, and this gaseous metal ion, when we drop in water, the gaseous metal ion will be surrounded by water molecules and it become aqueous metal ions. And here, when metal ions surrounded by water molecules, heat energy is released, and that is exothermic, so it is known as hydration enthalpy. In step 1, solid metal converted to gaseous metal atom. From gaseous metal atom, by removing one electron, we are converting that into gaseous metal ion. Gaseous metal ion we are dropping in water so that it is becoming aqueous metal ion. And first step is sublimation enthalpy we need. In second step, ionization enthalpy we need. Both are endothermic, heat energy absorbed, whereas third step is hydration enthalpy, where heat energy is released. And here, a solid metal is converted into aqueous metal ion in these 3 steps. If I ask you what is the total enthalpy change, means delta H total is nothing but sum of these 3. Means here delta H total is equal to delta H1, delta H2 and delta H3. And you know one thing, this delta H total may be positive, it may be negative. Reason? If delta H1, delta H2 both are dominating, then delta H total is positive. Otherwise, if delta H3 only dominating, I mean if hydration enthalpy only dominates, then delta H total is negative, students. Because delta H total depends on delta H1, 2 and 3. If sublimation enthalpy, ionization enthalpy dominating, delta H total positive. If hydration enthalpy alone dominates, delta H total is negative. And here I wrote E naught. What do we mean by E naught? This is nothing but our SRP. SRP means what? Say standard reduction potential. What is the relation between standard reduction potential and delta H total? Means E naught is a measure of delta H total only. E naught is a measure of delta H total. If delta H total is negative, E naught is negative. If delta H total is positive, E naught will be positive. I repeat once again. SRP is the measure of delta H total. If delta H total negative, E naught negative. If delta H total positive, E naught positive. Means for a given particular oxidation state, E naught you may have negative, E naught you may have positive.